hope you're well. I have a different one today. I feel like I'm saying that a lot lately, but I do have a bit of a different video today. We've no cash, a little bit of a different setup because today I want to bring you through 8 tips that have made the biggest difference in my budgeting, in my financial goals, financial health, my mental health around finances. It's just made the biggest difference for me. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about some of these things enough. We all know the Dave Ramsey zero-based budgeting method. We all know all of these really big high-level strategies for success, but we don't talk about the tiny little things that you can literally do today that will make a massive difference, or at least they did for me. So yeah, I'll get right into it and we can start talking about how I changed my financial self. So my first tip, and I have sang this one for years, is unsubscribing to marketing emails. So I don't think until you do this, you realize the effect that these emails have on you, and texts as well. So, when you look in your inbox first thing in the morning and you see payday sale, you see just reduced, going on clearance, 2 for 1s, buy one, get one free, all of this stuff in your email inbox, and you think that you're ignoring it. But are you actually? So it's like the movie Inception. They are planting a seed. These big shops, these even small shops, retailers, anybody trying to make a sale, are planting the smallest of seeds in your head about tiny little things. And you might not act on it today, but a week from now, you may make a move that you never would have made if you hadn't seen that email. I challenge you to go through your emails, and this can be a massive task. So, make a day out of it, get yourself a coffee, do whatever it takes, but sit down, go through your emails and look at each one and unsubscribe from each one that isn't absolutely necessary. Now, I still have some, I won't lie. At one point, I did go through all of my emails, unsubscribe from absolutely everything, and some crept back over time, but now they are ones that I'm so much more in control of. So I have things for, that save me money with my food shopping, because I need to do that either way. So I may as well save money. If there's a big purchase that I'm looking forward to, I will, I might subscribe to a few to see if any deals come up, or around the Black Friday times when there's some deals, or Cyber Monday, or summer sales, Christmas sales, then I will actively look around for discounts. However, I have spent thousands of euro over the years from these emails for things I did not need. And it's only because I saw there was a sale on, and it helped me, it fueled my impulsivity, let's say. So honestly, one of my biggest recommendations is unsubscribe from marketing emails if they're not absolutely necessary to your life, and see how much temptation wanes after you do that. My second one is meal planning. So I don't actually know what I did with my life before meal planning. And I don't know how I used to go shopping if I didn't have a plan for what I was going to make that week. So, and a side tip to this is don't go shopping hungry. So I do my shopping online. I'm always saying this. I do all of my grocery shopping online. Before I do my grocery shopping online, I will figure out what I'm going to eat for the week. And there is room for movement in that. If it gets to a certain night and I don't want a certain dinner, I can swap it with another day. Or if I have ingredients there that are left over, or I want to make something else, I can absolutely do that. That's not an issue. What the main point of this goal is that I know the ingredients I need ahead of time, which allows me to be super efficient in what I want. I can actually spend more time looking for good deals on those things, and I have very little waste food-wise because of the fact that I know I'm going to eat. It also just takes a lot of time and effort out of trying to figure out every night what you're going to eat, which for me is a massive win. So that is point number 2. If you're not meal planning and you're not doing your grocery shopping online, or you're going shopping hungry, immediately stop all of those things. My next one may be very well known in the budgeting community, but I feel like a lot of people who either aren't part of the budgeting community, or maybe you just haven't thought about this before, but this is really a game changer. It's reviewing your safety net. Do you have a safety net? So for most of us in the budgeting community, your safety net is your emergency fund. And that is gold standard what your emergency fund should be. A lot of us also have credit cards, which form a part of our safety net. And for some people, that's absolutely necessary. So I will not bash you for that. That is not my goal here. All I'm saying is I know for one that I struggle immensely with credit cards. I struggled for years. You might have seen my debt confession video of racking up debt on a credit card, getting a loan to pay off the credit card with the intention of keeping the credit card for a safety net. But that safety net was something that I was constantly falling into and testing. So is it a case that you have credit for actual safety and you never use it? Because you're not always in danger, let's be real with ourselves. Are you like me and using credit as a safety net because you're in danger of not getting the leggings that you want in the sale from the marketing email that we were supposed to unsubscribe to earlier? Think about it. Maybe you have your emergency fund. Maybe you are emotionally connected to your credit card, which is definitely how I was for a while. When you get rid of a credit card, you have this feeling of not being safe because you don't have the safety net anymore. And it's harder the more you use it. So the point I'm trying to make is, if you don't have an emergency fund, definitely consider setting one up. If you do have an emergency fund, but you also have an additional safety net, do you need it? And if it's a case that, you do use it in emergencies and that you're paying it off all the time, then that's absolutely perfect. It sounds like you're managing it a lot better than I did. But if you're someone like me who had the emergency fund but still chose to use the credit because you didn't want to spend your own money, need I say any more? That mindset isn't a good one. That mindset is something that needs to be addressed. And I'm still working to tackle that every day, but I just wanted that to be food for thought. So my fourth point is another one that I have sang about for years, and it's about de-influencing yourself. So all of social media, all of the internet these days, absolutely everything is telling you that you're not good enough, or telling you that once you do this thing, buy this thing, try this program, do this diet, whatever it is, that you will be worthy. And this is what the wheel of consumerism is, that we feel the need to do more and more, buy more and more, be more and more. And we end up in a never-ending loop of not actually knowing our own worth because everything out there tells us otherwise. So I can't solve that problem for us. I really wish I could. What I can say is that you do have the power to de-influence yourself. So what you can do, very like the marketing emails that we mentioned earlier, you can choose what you consume. And I mean from this at the very start of that process, when you're on social media, are you subscribed to people that make you feel like you need more than you have? Are you subscribed to people who are a way that you want to be, but that make you feel bad about yourself for not being that way already? That's not productive for you. It's not good for your health. And I did an exercise about 3 years ago now, I want to say, where I went through all of my social medias and I looked at every person I was subscribed to and thought, what do I think when I see that person's thumbnails? What do I feel when I see their Instagram posts? And is that good for me? And really what happened is I ended up unsubscribing from so many people, not because they're bad people and not because they're, out to get you or anything, but how it's sitting with you is so important. I used to have so many subscriptions to all of the Gymshark athletes, all of anything in the fitness industry, and I was just in this constant cycle of waiting for the next Gymshark sale, waiting for a new collection to drop so that I could get all those brand new things and feel like I was part of something. And saying that out loud now, it sounds really sad to say, but there's so many of us in that loop and we don't even realize it. I felt like I didn't go to the gym enough because I didn't look like those athletes. I felt like I wasn't athletic. I felt fat, all of these things. And it just keeps leading to more and more internal horribleness that you don't need. And how that affects your budget? Well, for me, it was spending stupid amounts of money on more and more gym clothes that didn't make me feel good because I didn't look the way in them that the athletes did anyway. I'd spent lots of money on them, but I never felt like I went to the gym enough, and so I wouldn't wear them because I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, it's, who are we fooling here but ourselves? Go through your subscriptions and, stay subscribed to the people that make you feel good about yourself, or, that you inspire you. And I do still have some subscriptions to some Gymshark athletes, but I'm a lot more selective about the ones that I have now. And I really don't have many subscriptions to people who advertise things anymore because I'm a sensitive individual and I can't seem to help myself. So it's just best for me to take a step back. So maybe think about reviewing anything in your life that influences yourself, and try de-influence yourself. And again, you will see so much of your temptation for things that you never wanted or needed drop away. My fifth point is so cringy that I want to apologize in advance, but stick with me for a second because I wouldn't have listened before either, and now I am an avid believer. So my fifth point is practice gratitude for what you already have. So this ties into the last point a bit of always feeling like we need to be more, we need to do more, we need to buy more. But if you look around you right now, do you have everything you need to survive? Because for a lot of us, you do. And that's not to say that we don't get happiness from retail therapy, and I'm not bashing that. I love retail therapy. But if we don't practice gratitude for what we already have, nothing we receive will make us any happier. And it shouldn't anyway, regardless of gratitude, but we will never be happy with what we have unless we start practicing it now. That doesn't just go for material things. So, if you think next time you upgrade your wardrobe, you'll finally be happy with your wardrobe. How many times have you said that in the past? Because I know I've said it thousands of times. I've had thousands of new wardrobes and I still look in my wardrobe and think I have nothing to wear. It also is with your salary. I thought for years and years and years that my next pay increase will be the one where I'm finally happy and satisfied with what I'm earning. And that's just never come. And I have tripled my salary in the last 3 or 4 years, and I'm still not at a place where I am internally happy with that. So I'm trying my best to practice gratitude. There's many different ways of doing that. Some people do it through meditation. That's a great way. I have recently started a gratitude journal, which makes me want to puke when I say those words because I'm not a journal girly, but I'm so sick of feeling miserable and like I don't have all the things I want when I know that life is good. So I'm not making it a big deal. I'm doing it once a day. If I can manage once every 2 days, 3 days, I come to the journal, I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for today and 3 reasons that I'm proud to be me. And that's all I'm doing. And it takes me a couple of minutes. I'm not a 5:30 in the morning getting up, having a lemon water, doing my gratitude journal. I do it when I remember to do it. But already I've been doing it for about 2 weeks and I've seen such a difference in that I don't feel like I need more and more because I'm grateful for what I have right now and it doesn't need to be added to. I'm still going to add though, let's not lie, but maybe something to think about, some food for thought. My 6th point is going to be super nostalgic because I'm going to sound like your parents or whatever figures you had in your life growing up may have told you to surround yourself with people with similar goals. And there's so many different iterations of that phrase and how people say it, but there is so much truth to it. When I first started working and I was earning pretty decent money in comparison to my friends, I was hanging out every weekend with my friends and they didn't have as much money, but because they spent all of their money on, going out, on food, on clothes, on makeup, that's exactly what I did too. And I was spending a lot more money than them because I had a lot more money than them and I could have done better things. I'm not saying that I regret it. I definitely don't. I had a great time, but it set me up with some bad relationships with money later in my life. Because you do become like the people that you're around and you don't have to cut off friends. You don't have to, never go out again. What I want you to think about is, do I do some of the things I do with my money because the people around me are doing that? And is it something that you actually want to do? Is that a thought you're having for yourself? Or is it because the people around you are doing it? Similarly, are you somebody who wants to buy a house, have a nice car, pay off your debt? Are you saving up for something big like a wedding or having a child? And are the people around you, do they have similar goals? Because it's always going to be more difficult to achieve those goals if the people around you either aren't cheering you on or don't understand why you're doing it. Okay, so point number 7 is don't deprive yourself. So when we all set a budget, when we decide, I'm going to pay off my debt, I'm going to start saving for a house, I'm going to do all these things, the easiest thing that we always put on the back burner is ourselves. And I was guilty of this at the start of my cash stuffing journey as well. You can go back and see the videos that for the first 2 months, I think, of cash stuffing, I never gave myself spending money. And even in the past, whenever I've done a budget for a month, before cash stuffing, that is, I have never given myself money to spend. I would always put money aside for, going out at the weekend. I would put money aside for my bills. I'd put money aside for getting food. But I never gave myself anything just to spend, because I always thought that budgeting meant that all of your decisions with your money had to be super practical and super responsible. Well, newsflash, giving yourself spending money after going and earning that money is practical and is responsible, especially if that helps you stay on track. I'm not against a no spend week, a no spend day, or trying a no spend month, but long term, it's like a diet. If you deprive yourself of all the things that you like, you will never stick to that diet. So think about your budget in the same way. You need to have room to do things that are fun. You need to have room to have an impulsive spend once in a while. Otherwise, you will never stick to your budget and you'll never make progress, because you'll constantly be going 1 step forward, 2 steps back, or 2 steps forward, 1 step back, whatever way that looks for you. My 8th and final point, this one's been instrumental in me sticking with the cash stuffing method. Although I do love it, the most important thing for me has always been remembering your why. For some of us, the why is super easy, or we think it is anyway. I budget because I want to have money left at the end of the month. I budget because I want to pay off debt. I budget because I want to buy a house. And for some of us, those whys are good enough. And for some of the rest of us, we don't have exact goals or imminent goals that help us to budget effectively or be responsible with the money that we have. So, for example, I don't have any debt at the minute. I have my bills, I pay my bills, but I do have surplus every month of money that I used to just spend. And I do have to keep in mind what my why is personally, because I have to implement a zero-based budget for myself. It's not something that, all of the money that I have every month is something that I spend every month. So I'm not living paycheck to paycheck, which can oddly make it more difficult to budget, because I don't have to if I didn't really want to, but I want to. So my why for me is that I am sick of getting to the end of a month and having no money left for a week before payday. I'm sick of spending all my money on payday on stuff that I don't really need, and then when I do need something, I don't have that money. I'm sick of going into a cycle with credit cards where I get a credit card and I spend a lot more money than I have on things that I want, and then I have to work for months to pay that back, while having to skimp back on other areas of my life that I really do enjoy, like traveling or, having experiences and making memories. So that is a couple of my personal whys. And also related to one of my other points is that I don't want to deprive myself. And I only have so much money, as do we all. I want to have money to enjoy my life now, but also putting aside to enjoy next week, week 3, week 4, week 5 of the month, enjoy my holiday, enjoy retirement. You see what I mean? I don't want to constantly be spending the money in my pockets just because it's there. And that is why I budget the way I do. Everybody will have different whys, but it's so important to remember the why. Remember the emotional connection to your why. And remember why you started. And remember what you want your end goal to look like. It just makes the journey so much easier and so much easier to stick to. And yeah, that's my 8 tips for today. So let me know which one you thought was best. I'll talk to you soon, guys.